This is my first hydrogen generator, or I guess you could call it a hydrogen fuel cell, hydrogen generator, whatever. It makes hydrogen. This is the first one that I've ever built, and it's actually pretty simple. I just took a plastic container, got a few markings on the side to keep track of how much water I've used, and then I've got a battery charger. It's with the engine start, which comes in handy. It's used more electricity, but it generates it a lot faster. Some baking soda, and I took two rods and wire brushed all the rust off them and got them looking nice and clean. I've got the negative shorter and the positive longer, so I can remember which one is which. I don't know if that's really necessary, but I did it anyway. I'm not exactly sure how much baking soda is in this. I wasn't keeping track. I was kind of so anxious to get started, but I'm going to start keeping track from here on out because I'm seeing how necessary that is. I'm going to go ahead and stick these rods in. You can see the water's a little colored from what small rust deposits were left in there. Let's see, hook these up here. Positive on the long one. So get that one to stay there. And then negative on the short one here. Make sure they're not touching. Like that. And let's go ahead and start with, I'm going to show you what the different voltage and amperages do to the water here. Let's go ahead and start with, let's see, 6 amps with 6 volts. My meter on the side isn't functioning, so that's kind of a small disadvantage, but oh well. I don't know if you could see it all that well, but it's bubbling a little bit. The positive starts bubbling before the negative does. If the water was a little clearer, we could see better. There's the negative starting to bubble a bit. Now if we go up to 30 amps with 6 volts, there's a small difference. Starts bubbling a little faster. Now let's try 12 volts with 2 amps. You can see it's really bubbling now. My next project will be to perform the same action, only with some stainless steel plates instead of rods. That way a lot more of the metal surface is exposed in the water. And I'll also use a container with a sealed top and drill a hole in it, take a flexible piece of tube, run it into a bubbler so I can see if I'm making anything. It's had some time to warm up. Now let's try 30 amps with 12 volts. This will really get it going. You can hear the battery charger really humming over there. And there they are, bubbling like crazy. Like I said, I wish I would have kept track how much baking soda I put in there, but I would guess that there's probably about 1 teaspoon in there. Maybe 1.5, I'm not sure. But there's my markers. And this has been running for probably maybe 7-8 minutes now. And the water level's gone slightly down from the full mark with the rods in place. That's pretty much it. It's extremely simple, and I think it's the future of our fuel. These greedy oil companies charging outrageous prices for gasoline and diesel. Gas is right at $4 a gallon here in St. Louis. Actually, we're in Maryland Heights, but that's considered the St. Louis metropolitan area. And diesel is outrageous. We're right about $4.80 a gallon. It's costing us about $225 to fill up our Excursion. And the pickup, which guzzles the gas like crazy, about $80. So, I'm looking forward to putting a stop to this, as I'm sure all of you are. And I believe this is our one and only answer as of now. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off here. As you can see, it stops instantly. So as soon as you hit the off switch, it's off. Well, I'm going to see if I can sink some time into building a newer, more improved one here. Maybe get a bubbler and a sealed top on this container. Actually see how much I'm really making.